Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Sonny is a lot of things, okay? He can be loving and caring and smart and funny. He can also be arrogant and just straight up stupid. I understand the impulse for him wanting to help out Joss, for him wanting to sit there and try to do what he could to fix the situation. But Carly was like, we got this, we're good. The only thing that he managed to do when he kidnapped Esme was make matters worse. Okay, I and when I sit there and talk about the arrogance of him, I mean, what did he thought he was going to do? He's going to sit there and kidnap her, practically sit there and say, "Well, you're not leaving until you answer my questions." Give her the look and the scowl and everything like that. And what's she supposed to do? Just give up everything? Just tell you everything? It was just going to be that easy. This is stupid. This was so dumb. And when Nicholas and Victor is not there talking about Esme after, him finding out that, she might be pregnant and realizing the conversation that she had with her earlier about Sonny, he realizes that Sonny probably has her. Given the phone that was there and everything like that, so they get down there. And, the guards that they're trying to stop Nicholas from walking in. And of course, Esme hears the whole thing and she acts like the victim and starts yelling and everything like that. And it looked like she kind of messed up her clothes a little bit, like he roughed her up. And, at this point, Nicholas is like, yo, listen, I'm going to deal with you later on. He walks off. And now Victor's like, yo, listen, I'm putting you on notice. You don't come after my family. So I was like, great, Sonny, great. You're already having this mystery person, the new player that's going to be in town. You're going to have to sit there and deal with Victor now. And, well, you don't have a right hand man anymore. Like, what are you thinking, bro? Delusion is going to be his new best friend at this point because this is just stupid from the get go. Um, yeah, it was really stupid. So let's talk about Spencer and Trina. Now, one of the things that Trina said was absolutely true. From the moment that she met Spencer, her life has gotten a hell of a lot worse. Now, Spencer walks in, he's like, yo, why'd you do it for? The evidence points towards you, and you can't remember anything. And you were upset prior to you going in the room. So it's not looking good. Now, Trina was like, listen, I could have gave up on you when everyone else did, but I believed in you. And now when I'm asking you to do the same thing, you can't do that for me. Now, I look at this whole thing, this whole argument or whatever, and, whenever I sit there and, go on IG and I start looking at comments about Trina and Spencer and how people want them together, I'm just like, you want this entitled prick to sit there and be with her? Be with this queen? Are you serious? What the hell is wrong with you people? I, like I said, I don't normally do the whole shipping and stuff like that. I'm like, come on, seriously? Portia, when he left, because at this point, Trina really didn't have anything else to say, so Trina told him to kick rocks. When he was outside the police station for some odd reason, which I couldn't understand, when she told you to leave, it meant leave, like as in the whole area. But like a dumbass for some odd reason, he's just standing there. And so when Portia sees him, Portia is not happy. She gives him her 2 cents, and then she walks off. And Dante's like, "You should just leave at this point because you're not doing any good being here." And so finally, he does leave, And I guess he goes to Charlie's for some odd reason, which I don't really understand why. But he goes there and he sees Esme, hugging Nicholas. So I look at this whole thing and I'm like, Esme could not have planned this whole thing out better herself. You know, it works so much in her favor, especially after what Sonny did. So good job, Sonny. You're making her job a hell of a lot easier. Great job. Scotty's going to take the case. He tells Portia and Curtis, to lay down and I mean, what's going to wind up happening. And he believes in Trina, and given that he considers Cameron like his grandson, he wouldn't sit there and represent her if he didn't believe in her. And right then and there, that speaks volumes. So he says, listen, he has a good chance of winning this and coming out on top, and I think that's the best you could sit there and take from any lawyer. So, later on, Portia winds up seeing Trina, and with Curtis, and walks on out and get ready to go to her arraignment. Now, I look at this whole thing. I look at this whole thing with the new Trina, and when Portia started working, started being on that show, when the actress started being on that show, pairing her up with Sydney, the original Trina, but a second Trina, because the first Trina was Asian. So, but anyway, pairing her up with the OG Trina, well, the second Trina, whatever. I just gotta sit there and wonder, how does that feel? I mean, her scenes with Sydney, now she has to sit there and do these new scenes with her. It just, I mean, it works, but it just, I like from an actor standpoint, like how does that work? Hugging her and everything like that, and now she's the new daughter, and it's just like it gotta be a little bit weird or disorienting, a little bit, Anyway, so yeah, they go down to the courthouse or whatever, and I guess we'll find out what happens from there. Now, after the woman, I don't know what her name is. They didn't really give her a name. They're going to be launching the, IPO or deception or whatever. They're talking about deception stuff. So, Lucy's like, listen, we got to get somebody to sing. Can't you sit there and ask Chase? And Brooklyn kind of dodged the question. It's like, well, I don't really want to do it. I don't really want to sit there and take advantage of him and, help me out with this other thing. And so, she's just giving excuses at this point. Maxie sees the situation and kind of, you know, steers the conversation in a different direction and kind of helps us out a little bit. Um, Lucy, not really happy with not getting her way, decides to go get gummy bears or something. So she runs off. They talk about Chase real quick. And of course, during this time, you got Chase going to the police station to sit there and try to get some new people or funds or something. He's doing something. I don't exactly remember. I don't know if he's recruiting or is he trying to get money or both. I think he's trying to recruit. Anyway, they get into a conversation about Brooklyn, and Dante is talking kind of negative about her, and Chase kind of defends her. Um, at some point, Chase does wind up getting to deception, and after talking to Lucy for a little bit, you know, Maxie decided to get Lucy out of this, so that's where they could sit there and talk. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this argument or this spat seemed like it just came out the blue. And I get that they want to sit there and try to have these couples or this couple, whatever, go through their yin and yangs, and they don't want to get them together too soon. And so, they're finding little BS reasons to stop them from getting together. But I want to be honest, this one was just really odd. Like, really odd. So Brooklyn asked him to sing for a deception launch party. And he's like, listen, I really don't want to do it. I only did it, for the Gnosis Ball because it was charity. And then he says something along the lines of, he doesn't want to sit there and have anything get in the way of his reinstatement. And I'm like, what? How is Chase singing going to stop, slow down, or halt any progress with him being reinstated? That literally makes no sense. Okay, that makes no sense. And because he says something along the lines of, oh, I don't want to sit there and do it, be involved in a cosmetic company or something like that. I'm like, bro, for a minute, it almost sounded like you said you don't want to sit there and sing because it's a cosmetic company. What was that going to mess up your standing with your macho cop buddies or something like that? Is that it? Because you did actually sing at the nurses' ball, and you didn't have a problem doing that. I'm sorry, but none of what he said actually made any sense. Unless it's that reason. That's just wow. Um, I don't think that's the reason. I don't think that Chase is like that. I don't think that Chase is the type of person to be like, oh well, I can't sit there and sing for a cosmetic company. I can't have, I can't be a guy sitting there, having any sort of involvement with a cosmetic company. Like, I'm pretty sure that's not the reason. And so I really don't understand what the reason is. I mean, maybe he's doing it because he doesn't want to get close to her. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But I'm going to be honest. His reasoning for saying no to her was completely and utterly stupid and pointless. And then, when Chase leaves, they both just kind of do that whole mirror thing where they just kind of stand there like where they feel like disappointed. And it's just like, okay, sure, whatever. I feel like at this point, Brando and Sasha, when they walked in, they felt so disconnected from the rest of the show. Almost felt like they just had their own spinoff. Um, After Gladys was, annoying Lucy, Brooklyn, and Maxie, they told her to go get lunch. It was like stock options. You funny, yo, go take out orders. So they eventually wound up running into, she eventually winds up running into Brando and Sasha, and they chat real quick. And of course, Gladys acts like Gladys, nothing new. But when Brando leaves, Gladys tells Sasha how she really feels. And she pretty much just says that, she felt like those two rushed into it. Given everything that happened, she just doesn't want Brando to get hurt. Um, I have something else to. No, I think I already said it. So yeah, she just tells him, she just tells her that, she doesn't want Brando to get hurt. Sasha reassures her. Um, Maxie and Lucy come down there, and I think Brooklyn does too. No, she doesn't come down there. But anyway, he wants to then throw her a late bachelorette's party or a wedding party. And at first, Sasha's like, nah, I don't really know about it. But then, Brando kind of chimes in, like, yeah, I want to sit down and celebrate my beautiful wife. So she's like, all right, sure. And then, she calls one of her connects to sit there and get some more stuff. But yeah, no, when she walked in there with Brandon, she was like, I kind of want to just, still be in our honeymoon phase and kind of just slipping in and out. I'm just like, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like they're just kind of disconnected from everything else. And it's like, they also seem kind of boring sometimes. It's like, if you don't have Gladys there, which is kind of odd, they're just not really that interesting. Um, and before I forget, before I get, before I forget, I was sitting there reading a comment and, about me going really hard on Sam and being really harsh towards her and practically trash talking her. It, there's a couple of things. One, that was actually me being light. If you ever watched any of my Days of Our Lives reviews, there's a character named Allie, and oh my goodness, can I not stand that woman? She raises the bar when it comes towards the word moron. So, if anyone thinks that I'm actually being harsh on Sam, that's actually pretty light. Also, I just felt like she was wasted in yesterday's episode. Like I really do. I really felt like she was wasted in yesterday's episode. Um, I mean, I go back. I go way back to when she first was on the show. Hell, even before then, when she was playing Livy Locke. So, I mean, granted, I don't like Sam, but I mean, listen. At the end of the day, take my words with a grain of salt. That's just my opinion on what I think Sam is, or how I feel about Sam. But I felt like she was wasted. I felt like she was wasted, and I felt like the only time they really tried to give her a storyline, is when that she's paired up with someone. And even then, like with Dante, it's like she's practically like y'all practically are like brother and sisters. It's just weird. Um, but yeah, I felt like she was just kind of wasted yesterday, and it's even just for Kelly Monaco as an actress, like they could be doing so much more with her character than having her come in being rude and everything like that, and just talking to Carly as though Carly couldn't have been talking to anyone else and it would have been exactly the same. So yeah, I kind of just want to sit there and talk about that real quick because I know, even though I know I read it from one person, I don't know how many other people feel like I kind of like trash talk Sam, but I don't like her, but I don't really feel like I'm trash talking her, especially yesterday. I just felt like she was just wasted, like literally wasted. I feel like that's about it. I was sitting there wondering who was going to sit there and represent Trina. And at first, I was like, all right, maybe Martin Gray, but I'm like, when you think about it, Scott just makes so much more sense. And it's so much more of an impact because he knows Cam. Cam is like family to him. So to sit there and represent Trina, it's it's a large statement. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. So with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank everyone for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.